So today I'll be telling how to write clean code in HTML. So first I'll tell about the meaningful tags. So instead of using div everywhere, use tags that describe content like header, navigation section, and footer, which is going to be really nice. I'll tell you an example. So like first of all, we'll make our boilerplate and write the doc type HTML and every single thing as we already know. So inside this, you already see in the body tag, we could add a header. There's going to be a header tag in this. So in the header tag, you could write headings, your h1, which is going to be anything. So after the h1, we could be writing in the navigations, we could be writing the ul, which is going to be ordered list, unordered list, and inside that we could be telling all of our links, which is going to be coming in li tag, and we could be writing all of our links over here, which is a ref, which starts with ref, as we know, ref tag, and we could be writing all of our links, whatever you want to tell. So it's going to be really amazing, and everything is going to be happen accordingly. And then after this, after the header, you could associate, this is going to header tag, which is going to be it, and then you're going to close your header. After the header, you could even add a main tag. Inside the main tag, you could be writing the main component of the data. Inside that, you could write sections, section ID, and stuff like that. Section ID is equal to home. So you could add stuff in the section tags. So afterwards that you could be writing the about us section accordingly, which is going to be really simple and super amazing. So you could be writing the footer tag. Inside the footer tag, you could be writing the copyright things. Like if you want to claim some copyright symbol, you want to make a copyright symbol, you're going to write an ampersand, which is going to be ampersand. You're going to write the ampersand symbol, which is this, and then you gotta write copy with this, copy and semicolon. This is gonna make the copyright symbol, which is gonna be really nice. And after that, you could be writing whatever you want to display, like 2024 2024 copyright. You could be writing every single thing like that, copyright. So below that, you could be okay, so you could be adding a footer, which is going to be really amazing. So the first main thing is that you could use meaningful tags. So after this, I'll be telling you to indent your code. So like notice the spaces for each level. It's easy to see the nested structure. So like inside the header tag, what I'm trying to explain is whenever you write the header tag, inside this people write like a navigation. We'll do that same thing again. Like you could add after that there's or an order list, and inside this you could be adding lists and stuff. You could not make like so many spaces, and just like you could do every single thing, which is going to be really simple. In this attribute tag, we'll be writing that in this a tag there's going to be ref, and everything accordingly. You're going to make a home tag, home single, which is going to be a symbol where you're going to click, and it's going to bring you, navigate you to a different place. So it's going to then you just have to make your code. You got to try to make keeping your code simple, avoid deeply nested elements, and like try to make it really simple. Just like if you want to add a section tag, just try to add it like this, id, and inside this you're gonna write the about section. This is gonna be, then you could add headings inside, coding, and inside this you can add paragraphs. Whatever your paragraph you want to add, you can write information, and this is going to be like every single thing. So you just have to keep it simple. After that, you're going to name classy and IDs clearly. So this means that use the names that make sense, like main, header, and about section. This helps you quickly identify element. So like I'll show you, like when you write sections, you could identify it by you can identify this section by about section. So like it's gonna be really easy for you to check out things, so you can know that like you're trying to identify a section over here. So below this you can write your h2, and then below this you're gonna write a paragraph or everything accordingly. So the name class and IDs clearly. So close all tags. You gotta remember whenever you open a tag, you gotta close it. Like if you're using a H1 tag, you gotta remember to close it. And these IDs, it's like automatically whenever you open a tag, it's always gonna close it. But whenever you're using Notepad, and you gotta be remembering it to keep it a nice practice that whenever you open a tag, you gotta close it rememberly, and it's gonna help you a lot. So that's gonna be really amazing. So after this, all you're closing all the tag, then you're gonna add all text for your images. So like mostly people use these images for keeping it for adding, like they people use the image attribute. So I'll tell you another way you could use the alt attribute by writing image tag. Inside this image you can write source. Where is the source from? Logo, you go to logo.png, whatever you want to write. So inside this alt thing, what I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna tell this attribute. In this attribute is going to show if this picture isn't going to be displayed, what's going to be written inside. Just you could say copy of a blue bird picture. So like this is gonna tell, let me tell you something, like if this image isn't going to be displayed on your HTML on your web page, it's going to tell it's a copy of a bluebird picture. So it's going to be understanding, oh, it's a bluebird picture if it's not loading. So he's going to understand that it's not going to be loading over here, and it's going to be really easy to understand. And it's a really nice practice. You should try to use these. So then you gotta try to avoid inline styles. Like instead of adding style directly to element, use CSS in separate files. Some people, like sometimes they try to add, like whenever they write code, they try to add every single thing inside. We're gonna try to write CSS. Like you could write CSS in your code. Like you could write a header inside. You could opening a bracket over here. You could write background, whatever background you want to associate it with a background color, which is semicolon. No, sorry. Eh, this was a little messed up. You gotta tell background slash color, background color, and inside this your semicolon, you could be writing whatever you want. You could write a hash symbol, and then like associate it with any color, whatever you want. There's gonna be a random color for F4, 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 F4. You could use anything. So after that, you could be writing the paddings. After this, in the below this, you could be adding paddings accordingly. So it's saying try to avoid inline comment, try to use this. So it's saying try to use linked with HTML, just try to link them accordingly. So that's really nice. Delete extra code, remove unnecessary tags and code, keep only what you need to make the page work. Like don't add random stuff, whatever you like, just don't add extra stuff. It's just gonna make your code more complex and more hard to understand. Like there are like so many extra stuff, people just like adding more stuff and comments. Just try to make it, comments are really nice. You gotta try to keep it simple. So like use comments to explain complex parts. Like whenever you're using something really hard, like add comments whenever you need, but avoid over explaining. Like some people, they keep on explaining their own code. They keep on adding comments, keep on adding useless comments, which is not good. It's just making your code so much complex. And whenever you're gonna try to view it, it's gonna be so weird and it's gonna look so hard. So like you could so the next point is check for errors. Run your HTML code thoroughly and catch any errors. Try to check if you make any mistake whenever you open a tag. Did you close it properly? You gotta check everything's out like that. So people do make a lot of mistakes like these. So you gotta be careful and try to not avoid make these mistakes and avoid them. I was saying you should use ARIA label to make it accessible. So like you could use ARIA label attribute, which is gonna be using to improve accessibility for screen recorders. So like you could use this as A, which is gonna be attribute, then you use ref, as we know, and inside that we'll be writing a contact function. Contact, inside that, before that you gotta make a hash symbol, hash contact, so it knows it's gonna be making it accessible. So then you're gonna write aria dash label, and then inside that you could use an equal to sign, and then contact us function, contact us function. And then after this you could be ending your tags This works like this: contact us function, and then you gotta be closing this tag, and then you gotta be writing contact whatever you wanna contact us. And then whenever you're gonna try to improve it, it's gonna whenever you're gonna try to run it, it's gonna come accordingly. So after this aria, you could organize your file, like structure your project logically. For example, like first, whenever you're using this, first try to do index.html. Inside this, your main code is gonna be written in the index.html. So after that, you could use your CSS files, which is gonna be helping you a lot. Then you're gonna do style.css, in which you're gonna be writing your styling and stuff. So after that, you could be writing your JavaScript files, and in the JavaScript you could write script.js, which you're gonna be writing for JavaScript. So then after that, after the scripts, then you could be adding your images. Inside the images, like whatever you wanna be, like we try to add like logo.jpg. So these were some stuff. So this is gonna help you a lot. So let me go through some stuff. So like the user clear tags, use clear tags, choose tags to make sense, like header from the top of the page and footer for the bottom of the page. Like indent your code, use space to line up code inside each tag. This helps everyone see what inside each section. Keep it simple, avoid nested elements. Simple is easier to read and update. Name things clearly. Use names that describe the element, like about, section. So like I did every single thing, I showed you how it worked. So close all tags. Whenever you're gonna open it, you gotta close the tags. Use alt text to image, like or alt, it's gonna let you know that if there's an image and if it's not displaying, that means it's going to be a problem inside, and it's going to tell you what should be displayed on this place. So avoid inline styles. Don't make it inline. Just make a separate file for your CSS, which is going to be really nice. Remove extra code. If there's any extra code, just try to remove them. Use comment wisely. Don't keep on overdo comments and stuff. Check for errors. If there's any errors, try to fix them. Make it accessible, like aria label, which is used for screen recorders, readers, which is really nice. And organize your files. Like first you gotta do accordingly, like index, HTML, CSS, then style and script, images, and everything. I hope you understood. So our next video is gonna be a project about it's gonna be a crash course, and it's gonna be totally all in one. Hopefully that's gonna be really amazing for you, and you're gonna learn a lot from that. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.